days.
How many people are we in? Like, how many people are there today? I can't
Just
see
have you got
the.
Captain No Beard on EA? Because I can't add him right now. I
Wait,
don't.
wait, 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 wait,
It's
wait,
your
wait,
job
wait, wait.
tonight.
View driver in lobby. No, view
Cap
super
Captain
license.
Morgan
I
No
need
Beard.
view. How do I add him? I can't
How are
add
we,
him.
stream? Hope everyone's well. We're just trying to make sure we're all set up and ready for tonight. In the
Wait,
meantime, I'm just going to make sure we're all muted just now. We'll be back in approximately 2 minutes for the start of the stream, so bear with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ERC 100. I'm your host for tonight, Mr. Andrew Gatton, also known as Papa Goose. And I'm joined by a regular in the comms box on ERC Sundays. Sorry, not Sundays. On ERC 100. Did I say Sunday originally?
yes.
I am so sorry. This is not Sunday. I was thinking Sunday. This isn't Sunday. This is Thursday, and it's not even called Sundays anymore. This just shows you where my head is at. It's up my ass. Anyway,
It's on
welcome in.
Sunday.
We've got Angelo here with us tonight. Thanks for keeping me right.
Good evening. No worries. Oh, people are retiring already.
I don't know. Oh, it's because it's someone's left the practice on. That's why. I'm assuming
Oh.
that's a mistake. We'll just keep it. Yeah, retire from practice. Yeah,
Mistakes can be made.
everybody has to retire from practice. It's not a new lobby either.
I guess it's just directly the practice lobby which was used.
Yes, I would assume so. But we are going to change the screen over right now. Hopefully it does it. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. Bang. We're in the paddock. Lord Riquez decided not to listen and passed Leo. The two Portuguese drivers. And that's my phone fell. RIP phone. Twice it's fell today.
Oh.
Um,
As we wait for some. As we wait for the two gentlemen to eventually retire.
Yeah, we'll get into
Um,
the action eventually,
Well,
guys.
we'll get it as while we wait. Fun fact about Monaco: it's been on the calendar since the first ever season. Formula One. It's been around since 1950, and it's got numerous changes over the years. Not too many. Track has remained, like the layout has remained sort of the same. But most notable changes were the final few corners, Rascas, and that used to
The
be a hairpin.
Razmacas.
The Rizcas, the Rascas, sorry.
The Rizcas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Yes,
Rizcas.
where Charles Leclerc just doesn't know how not to do stuff, I guess.
You'd think he's grown up there all his life and he would learn how to take Rizmacas, and yet he can't take Rizmacas. And why are we
The
still sitting
Riz.
in this lobby with Lord Recate and Pasteleo still not retired? Everyone had to retire, so I don't know. Are they out on track? No, they're still in pits.
No, no, maybe they went to get their wee break. Possibly didn't realize it can happen. We have a little bit of time, I think. Unless don't know what's going on in the chat, but as I was saying, the final few corners used to be just a simple hairpin, and the bevel chicane, I think it's called, used to be just you could straight line that back in the day. It was just a tiny left-right chicane, and if you took the right line, you could. Unless you're Alan Prost in 1981, then no, you can't take it right. But you may remember his accident there. And people in general has been the case that that section people like to take a swim with the car.
Take a swim. Man's, a, man's
Yes.
about to pop off.
So always left the session. Well,
You didn't have to leave
saying
the
that,
session, you just had to retire.
uh, maybe just a game saying I'm not too sure. Maybe that's sometimes it switches around. It says he's retired the session, but it actually he's left the session, but he's actually just retired from it.
Those bloody Portuguese.
The
We love them really, but like, come on, man. Please.
come on. Lord Ricaz in the Ferrari, waiting on him, and he used to the harbour section actually used to go up after the chicane. It had you had to slow down because there was like a ramp at that point before going into the swimming pool section. And if you didn't slow down enough, your car would go fly into a wall. And you don't want to do that, right? Do we?
No, we do not. Why would we want
Unless
to
it's
do
in.
that? It requires a swimming skill that a lot of drivers do not acquire. Swimming skill
There's
of 900. There we go.
9,000. You mean over 9,000? Right. So
Over 9,000.
it's over 9,001.
Anyway, so we should get into this. We are about to go into qualifying now. We're waiting
Yep.
on a few more drivers. I don't know what the attendance is for tonight, but you probably see it and I don't. What is the attendance like for 100?
Can't see it. I actually can't see the attendance myself. I don't know if you can. Can you see it?
No.
Right.
Cannot.
Right.
Which kind of it's hard to do, but you know we'll work with it.
Should be in qualifying. We should be in qualifying. Now it's a nighttime race. Is it a nighttime race officially?
I don't know. It could be.
Because qualifying is at night. This track is truly breathtaking at night as well.
Well, I would rather it be at night. Not gonna lie to you, because it would be a lot more fun. But we come into the short quali format, I believe, for this race. I believe actually we're only stuck with 11 drivers tonight, which is going to be great fun for the first race of the season.
I mean, obviously, yeah. Monaco isn't the most popular track between drivers in
Don't
league
blame
racing,
them.
unfortunately.
I got my
Unfortunately,
my first ever podium in a league race at Monaco, at the Monaco Grand Prix
at the
back in
Monaco,
SFR back in the day.
we love ourselves in Monaco, and there's an Aston Martin mechanic running out of the pit. That means there's a car going out on track, and there's only one Aston Martin. It's ERC Thanos.
Which is blunt blade, for those of you who don't know. Because, why not? Thanos snap. So I am
You can
munching
just
on
snap
chocolate.
people out of existence. Chocolate is nice. It's tasty.
It's
We love
Swiss
ourselves some chocolate.
Made into like a,
Swiss. The Swiss chocolate.
it's made into like a Santa that I haven't eaten
Schweizer Schoki.
since Christmas because I don't really eat a lot of chocolate. And I'm not gonna lie, this should be hitting hard right now.
It does hit hard, especially when you drink very cold water after eating chocolate.
That's very true, actually.
It's one of the best feelings, drinking cold water after eating a little bit of chocolate. Just so refreshing for some reason. I don't know why, but it just is. It's beautiful, beautiful. Through the swimming pool section. One of the best camera shots in the entirety of the Formula One season, in my opinion.
It is actually.
Seeing it. We have two cars. Ooh, there's a little bit of a slide there from Thanos. I do call him Thanos, right? Or do we keep calling him...
Call him Thanos if you want,
Previously.
but you can just call him Blunt Blade. It's up to you.
Alright.
It's for the viewers' sake. Thanos works, but we all know him as Gary Bluntblade. And he comes through the first chicane. It's very interesting, that one. A lot of people end up binning off into the wall there because it's so tight, and then they come around into the pool section. Very nice. Now I'll tell you, my knowledge of Monaco is shit because I hate this track. I don't like it, but yet my first ever race that I won, or sorry, I got a podium in, was around here. But that was because everybody else died, and I was the only one that made it to the end after like
Yeah.
2 wing changes.
Understandable.
But like, it was great fun. though.
It is fun. I love Monaco. I love myself some Monaco action. I like driving this track. It's fun. It keeps you on edge the entire time. It's a type of circuit that challenges the mind very much. I mean, I enjoy it quite a bit as Thanos goes fast as Gary Bluntblade with a 112.828.
I'm about to eat Santa's bottom half right now.
Oh dear.
Didn't realise
What's
that
Santa done to you?
I didn't realise that Saint Nick's prick didn't. It actually tasted this good. I munched on it a long time ago.
Mm.
Mm.
Who's
Go
the
home.
next?
But I would just add that there. Oh, Captain Morgan's. Maybe had a little bit too much rum. You sent it into a wall there. Come through the hairpin.
See, ooh. Through the tunnel. Quite tricky that section actually, because your car bottoms out there.
Yeah, you
Due
can
to the-
lose aerodynamics as well in the tunnel
Mhm.
if you're following loads of cars. So very easy for you to let the car run wide and hit the wall. Just because
Wolf
you're
who's
trying to
coming
keep- oh,
through.
Jesus, he just bashed the wall hard. That's gonna be a good lap time.
Wolf goes almost a second faster than Thanos. 11.8981. Captain Morgan goes third fastest with a 112.914 or 914. Who do we have next? Is Bird? Bird is on a lap? Yeah, Bird is on a lap.
He's doing very well at the
It
moment.
in the Haas. Wait, is it?
Hmm.
Oh no, he's not on a lap. He's doing a second warm-up lap, I think. He's not invalidated, and he's not using his
Yeah,
ERS.
because it's night time. When you stick on board with him, because he did win last season.
He is the champion of the 100 from last season.
Right,
Is
Angelo,
he going to be
talk
able...
us through a lap.
Right, into Saint Devote, up the hill.
San Devo.
Sun Devote, no heroics into there. Now through this, I don't know all the corner names, but this little section here, there's a bump there that drivers tend to avoid. It's always been there. It's an iconic piece of tarmac, Monaco, as it goes through the lowest hairpin. The slowest corner, the entirety of the F1 calendar. F1 teams need to have a special steering settings for that corner to make it through. There you go. The car really bottoming out through that as he goes through the normal chicane.
Oh, that was very close to invalidation there, but he kept it.
Yep, was beautiful, just barely grazing the wall. Does
Yeah.
go purple
Yeah, he's
into
gonna go pole here.
he's
with 10.5
tapped the wall
minutes.
there, and he's tapped the outside wall there a little bit, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem as he opens up the DRS towards the start finish
Yeah.
line, and he goes fastest. Yay, that's pretty close.
2/1000 of a second, 2/100ths of a second. Apologies. Up on Wolf in the Alpine. Now Wolf is touted to be quite good this season, and a lot of drivers are passing comment on how good will he last into the next round. Of the season as they pass. A lot of people are speculating that Wolf lost a lot of pace on this game after his successes in the previous game and the game prior as well, getting up through the Premier Division. Up for the Emerging League and up into the Premier Division when they had multiple divisions for ERC. And he's done quite well. He's had a couple of off seasons, he's had some part-time seats, he's had a few full-time seats where he's just had the worst luck in the world, and nothing can break it. So maybe today is his day. He's going to come back with a flying start to the season. Nathan McIntyre done very well last season, a very quick driver, but again, will he have enough this season to give us what we look for? Now, Nathan is a very quick driver. Maybe
Indeed.
questions of his pace being too quick at times around certain circuits. Just very quick driver compared to everybody else. It's almost like unfair how quick he can be. But today he isn't on pole currently, so interesting. He did do that on mediums, and Bird did his on softs. Given he is in the McLaren, the argument would be quite an interesting one if he was to come out of nowhere and just take pole on medium tires. I think that's maybe, I don't know, I would feel a little bit disrespected if someone came in did that with a car that was notably quicker, but I don't know about you, Angelo Lissimo.
I think even with like realistic performance, it's here to balance out. These drivers are all really quick on their good day, and Nathan is one of those drivers. He's really quick, but he's had a lot of bad luck last season. He was in contention for wins multiple times, but has always been involved in some sort of accident out of his control. And he's finally managed to win a race. He's actually from the final race of ERC 100s last season in Portugal. He was the winner. Won his first race last year at the final race.
Against the wall for Somatic Coast. As he takes the inside line. Apologies, Angelo's. We're just watching
No
on
worries.
board as he takes his lap out of the way. I mean, it's going to be it's a small enough grid today where we can try and cover as many drivers as possible and just talk about like what we predict their season to look like. Uh, the thing is, nobody's ever sent me a actual full driver list for ERC 100. Obviously, I'm just covering for Casper tonight because he's decided to go off on holiday at the most awkward time. We love you, Casper, really. Um, but when it comes down to it, we've got quite a good grid of those 11 drivers where I think we're going to see some close racing, even though it is Monaco and it's all about hot lapping, in my opinion. It's about where you qualify and hot lap that makes a
And the
difference here.
strategy as well, yeah. The strategy is going to be the most important thing as Somatic Coast goes fourth fastest with 11.742. Um, quite a few people, I think. There's a few people here that I know have won a race last season, or at least more than one. Could, so of course Bird, who is the champion of last season in the 100. Uh, we have Wolf. Don't know too much about Wolf. I think this is the first proper time I'm seeing Wolf in the 100. Maybe raced before in another name. I'm not too sure. Can't tell you.
I think this may be one of his first appearances while you've been here, but I remember he did maybe make an appearance at one point. He has been about ERC for a while, so he's definitely raced somewhere for the 100%. And I would need to go back in the archives to find that. I mean, Mike is the guy for that, but he's obviously he's on other duties tonight, so can't really just go and ask him. But yeah, I'm gonna just check on that because that's normally what I do on a Thursday chat. Is I just monitor chat and um, deal with everybody. That's my job. So let me have a look. We should have both streams live. Plus the QRT one on our Discord as well. If you haven't joined the Discord, you'd be silly not to. Go over to International Paddock and then use the exclamation mark Discord in there, and you'll be able to access our Discord server. It's completely free. Just accept the rules, have a quick read over them, and you are now a part of our community, and you get all the latest news and the announcements as well coming into all of the leagues and all their new seasons as well. So it's always the best place to be for any of your news and any news outlets. And we should also say, obviously, talking about news and outlets, me and Mike will be live next Monday at we're gonna probably call it either 5 or 8 p.m. You can either shove us on the way to work or on the way home from work, or you can have us on at 8 o'clock. We're still deciding the time. We're gonna put a little poll out in ERC on Sunday night during that Sunday stream and ask you guys what time you think would be best for us to do that live show. But it might change different weeks depending on scheduling, so we need to be very careful. It could be 5 o'clock and it could be 8 o'clock. It just depends on how it all goes. So please stay tuned for more on that on Sunday night on the first round of ERC Masters around in Monaco as well. So that'll be good for you to tune into as well. That'll be live 8 p.m. on International Paddock, our sister channel, or actually the big brother of this channel. But anyway, welcome to the stream, everyone. If you haven't already followed it, you should follow this channel. Definitely you should, because this is where we post our other league content as well. It comes live on our channel here on a Thursday night, and there'll also potentially be another league appearing on a Tuesday, but I'm not at liberty to say any more than that at current. So please do bear with us while we continue working on how we go on that. And actually, Angela, you need to give me an answer for Tuesdays.
For Tuesday. I have told you that I am available. I did tell you that.
There we go.
I'm pretty
that works for me. I think you had told me previously.
Yes, you did. You did ask me if I had the time, and I said, yeah, I should be able to do Tuesdays.
Well, it works for me then. I just need to get you a second comms, and you're good to go.
Oh yeah, we've already had a talk about that. I think it was on Tuesday as well.
We had a brief talk about it actually. Yeah, 'cause, We're obviously at no liberty to say. My beautiful girlfriend has arrived in the chat. Hello, babe. Welcome into the stream.
Hi,
We're
Sarah.
we're just under qualifying conditions right now in Monaco. This is the first round of ERC 100. Um, Maybe not everybody's choice for a first race, and I definitely wouldn't have picked
Yeah,
this myself. Not gonna
yeah.
lie.
I joked about it. Imagine if at some point Monaco was going to be the first race of the season. I did joke about it last season, and apparently it did come true as well. And the car, oh, there's an Alfa Romeo there,
That was a bit
trying to
dodgy.
trying to disappear.
Wreckage right now. 1:13.7. He's currently our slowest driver out on track at the moment. He is on. Well, he was on the lap. And I think he's on his own lap. Or is he starting one now? His tyres have got so much crap on them. He needs to get rid of all that crap before he starts his lap. He's lucky now. There's nobody behind him, so he can get those tyres scrubbed off and try for a lap now. He's got plenty of battery to use.
Ooh, Nathan really close there with the
He's
track
hitting
limits, but
wall
he
after
manages
wall
to
at the moment.
improve. Through the final corner, activates DRS, slams that thing open, down the straight,
Yeah, and he goes to
goes
take pole.
fastest.
110.658 at the moment. He's taking a pole off of Wolf. Wolf is doing quite well right now, and I know he is very good around this track. There's no disputing that. He is Monaco is one of his best tracks by far. But we're currently watching Wreckage 5468 as he kind of rolls down the end of Sector 1 into Sector 2 into the iconic hairpin. Tries to keep the power on, getting that car to turn for him. It comes down to the ocean side under the tunnel. Now the interesting thing about this track is it's not all about your sort of performance that's going to make the difference here. It's how your car behaves and how you set up your car that makes the difference. And to be honest, Wreckage nearly killed himself there. Honestly,
Ed goes fastest.
Purred.
It was an absolute flyer, yeah, I was on board with him.
He's
He
got this
was nailing
tendency
the corners.
to be nail-bitingly close all the time, but he does go quickest. But Wreckage here, to see if he can improve on his time as he goes across the line now. Nope, nothing from him unfortunately. So the poor only Williams in this race, not giving us what we look for. SRC Roman and Lorique, respectively 8th and 9th. EXO starting from the back, but Bird is your pole sitter for today. Nathan McIntyre just didn't have enough to take pole at the end. I think Bird found that extra time and put him in that situation. And Wolf just lining up on the second row of the grid today. After having a very good start to qualifying, maybe just not having the pace towards the end. Decision making, maybe, Angelo?
Maybe a car that is a bit more set up for the race as well. Maybe it's going to work better in the race. But in the end, it is more a thing, where can you find the time?
It's very true. It's a hard track to find time on if you're not confident with your car. You don't know your setup. Lining up alongside Wolf is Somatic Coast in P4. In P5 is Pasteleo. In P6 is Captain Morgan Nobile. In P7 it's Mr. Bluntblade, also known as ERC Thanos. In P8 we've got Roman. P9 Rike. In P10 Wreckage. And P11 EXO, who didn't set a time. He's doing his usual starting from the back malarkey in street circuits. That's where he started this thing. And to be honest, me and him had a very brief conversation last Sunday after the podcast, and this season he let me in on a couple of little secrets that he's going to essentially try and start near the back as much as he can, and just try and make some positions up, or try in some of the races where he's not allowed to do what he does, at least just not get involved in battles and just focus on finishing position rather than trying to fight for position. I think it's a very smart and it's sort of elder statesman move, if you would say. He's been about for a long time. He knows exactly where to put his car on track to put pressure on someone, and I think that pressure sort of makes people make mistakes, don't you think, Angelo?
Definitely, especially around a circuit like this, piling on the pressure can easily just can end up easily making a mistake. The driver ahead, just a little bit too much power, a little bit too early, and that's enough to make your car slightly oversteer, and you correct it. Then you correct a little bit too much, and then you hit your front wing, and it's damaged, and it's over. Basically, you have to pit and change it. That's
100%. The danger, the danger to avoid contact with just the wall is one thing, but then trying to avoid contact with another car is a completely different kettle of fish. And we put ourselves in these situations quite often, and I think in some ways Exo's move, especially here, will not. I don't think it will cost him position, because I think people will openly give him position by making their own mistakes. But if he gets maybe a little bit too tangled up in a battle in front, it'd be interesting to see what he does. Whether he stays really sort of dangerously close behind where he could be collected, or does he keep it back and just hold position? Because you know it's all about finishing positions if you want the championship, and with some drivers pushing too hard, and you see drivers do it all the time. They push really hard all the time to get their wins, and you know pushing really hard to get wins is fair enough, but you've got to think about your targets first. You've got to think about your pace, and the interesting thing about 100 is it's all based on your pace, what car you get put in. It's not so much about your team. It's you know you'll notice that it's just about where your finishing positions were in the season prior, and whether you're going to win a championship or not. Now, obviously, EXO is very quick, but he's been put in a Mercedes, which is arguably potentially the third fastest car on the game. And then you've also got the other side of the coin, where Bird has been put in a Haas, which is arguably probably the second shittest car in the game. So the argument could be had that they're pretty level on pace right now, dependent on where we're at. And even then, I think EXO probably a little bit quicker than Bird in the Mercedes, given the right track and the right environment. But we'll see how it goes. And I mean, Angelo, you seen these guys battle out last season, and given good or bad numbers to the racing, it always seemed to generate some good racing. I think conversations with a lot of the staff members in the ERC couldn't argue a point against ERC 100s, and that Las Vegas race apparently just blew the socks off a lot of people, and I think a testament to ERC's driving and their standards
Mhm.
there. I mean,
Mhm.
you were there, so what's your thoughts about last season coming into this season? Is there anything you'd like to see?
Well, if we can get a fraction of the great racing we've had last season, then I'll be very happy. But seriously, it's you can watch I can sit here and then I'll know that people can race cleanly. I know that they can race very hard but fair, and that's always so nice to see. Because I don't think I've seen any other league as clean as this one.
Yeah,
If I'm completely honest.
these guys, in my opinion as well, and it's an opinion and it shouldn't be taken factual information. Um, ERC do have the cleanest drivers, and that's no argument to any other league. And I think yes, drivers do get in some tussles from time to time, but the way that ERC has implemented their sort of reprimanding system is very good. And it
Mhm.
stops people from sort of giving each other insane amounts of stick in the chat, and I think that's the again a very good testament to ERC's sort of FIA safety board as well, and making sure that there's no bullying or arguing going on as well. And you know, it's good, and I think I enjoy hearing about people's races and watching it as well as much as I can in these environments, because I think, you know, you get to understand people's pace, and that's where it is. Who
Mm-hmm.
we got?
I
Innovate
do
Eagles
agree,
in the
yeah.
chat. How are we, Innovate Eagle? My girlfriend's saying she's trying not to spend money because I've introduced her to the world of Vinted, and Vinted has lots of Pokemon cards, and she's been,
Oh dear.
yeah.
Oh dear me.
So she's just like me. She's sort of gotten into Pokemon again, and she wants to build a really strong deck against me. So that's gonna be quite interesting to see.
Pokemon.
Pokemon cards. No chance.
Pokemon. Right. Speaking of cards of strategies today. What do we have on the cards today?
I think
Top
one
two are
stop and
starting on
two
hards.
stops. You know, I mean the two stop would work if you. I mean you could go soft, medium, soft around here, and I think that that would be a very strong start. But I think Bird is going for the one stop. I think the interesting one around here is the least amount of time lost is the most amount of time gained, and I think that's the important thing. That
Oh, one of the Red Bulls. It's just oh wait, no, lag.
yeah, a little bit of lag.
Just a little bit of lag. I've noticed that lately camera angles have been very poor. I don't know
Yeah,
if you can see it from the front.
we got
I'm
five
seeing it
red
from the
lights.
back.
And we're away. And Bird gets off cleanly, but Nathan tries to send it round the outside.
Wolf.
Oh god. Wolf tried to get round there, but there was nothing there, but puts Somatic Coast to the outside, and he's stuck in P4 at the moment. Captain Morgan Nobeard is looking to try and stick with Somatic Coast in front of him. Pasteleo also, we know, is a very quick driver. For many seasons, he's been acclaimed to win championships and has lost out only just to a lot of the other drivers. But right now, it's a bit of a car park down at the hairpin. Now we go down into the tunnel section. Bird 7 tenths up on Nathan McIntyre, which we could easily say is his rival this season. Now Bird trying his hardest to just keep this very clean. See if Nathan McIntyre fumbles the bag early on. Wolf dropping back a tiny bit. I mean, the argument is there that Nathan McIntyre maybe didn't warm his tyres up enough, but Wolf runs into the wall slightly, has a little bit of a cut against the wall. Somatic Coast now not too far behind him, but very loose out the back end there. And yeah, Pasteleo is probably the closest one right now, other than Wolf, to making a move. But Wolf's move, I think, will come first right now, just because Nathan seems to be making one too many mistakes for Wolf to not take advantage of with the medium tyres,
Ooh.
and Nathan getting very, very loose out of the sharp right-hander there, going over the bump. He just couldn't get the car to snap in the right way for him. But yeah, that's sort of your first lap over, Angelo. I mean, what else have you seen going on around the circuit?
I've seen Wreckage make an overtake on Lord Rickaz just before the lowest hairpin, so that was a nice overtake. But other than that, it's been pretty calm so far. People have kept it clean. Nobody damaged anything on their car in the first lap, so quite good on that side of things. But this is where now the race is going to become a little bit more single file. So obviously overtaking is much more difficult this circuit than any other, and you probably know it very well.
100%. And the issues with this circuit is not only because it is very, very tight and narrow, but it leads to a lot of speculation that a lot of drivers struggle to control their car for long periods of time around here because of the fatigue it takes. There's a lot of pressure on your forearms and on your braking foot around here, and it's hard. I will admit that, especially if Pasteleo makes that move on
Ooh.
Captain Nobeard again. Captain Nobeard tried to um, defend his position, but Pasteleo, you know, I think that was That was very well done. I think Wolf has dropped back now. I think he maybe made a few too many mistakes and is under pressure now from Somatic Coast. He tries to use quite a lot of the apex curbing on the outside of the track. It's not a very good curb there. It's very slanted. It's about 20 degree to 30 degree angle. It's not exactly what you want to be riding on, especially when you're under load on braking. Wolf hitting a lot of walls right now. Maybe struggling to get into a rhythm, but we'll see.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. We'll see pretty soon how that goes for him.
Exo's in a good position right now. He's made up 2 spots on the order. He's, you can see the distance he's keeping to the cars in front. He's just keeping within DRS range, but not trying to be too close everywhere else. I think he knows that everybody's relatively paced around here.
Yeah, you do want to be a little bit
And
more
Captain
mindful.
Nob, he's had a moment, and we've missed that. He's down into P10. I think maybe had a wee run-off moment. It doesn't look like he's got any damage, but, you never know sometimes with this game. Bird's currently leading by 1.5 seconds into the end of lap 4, which is, he's building up that lead early, but we all know there's going to be a safety car, and if there isn't a safety car, holy Jesus, it must be the only Monaco I've ever commentated on that's not had some sort of safety car on it.
Ooh, okay, as soon as you said that, it looked like Thanos was a bit iffy on the curb there, on the second chicane, but no issues there, as Nathan actually goes faster, he goes much faster, he's gained 0.4 of a second on Bird. Maybe his tires are now starting to function properly.
The question is, maybe he set his car up for a day event, so the tires are actually under pressured. They've warmed up too quickly, and he's actually in that sort of sweet spot right now, but we'll see. Because we all know the pressure difference in this game can make a massive difference as to how the actual overall strategy plays out. Because if you don't put your pressures right, you can either burn through your tires because they're too cold and they burn in areas that you don't want, or you burn in them because they get too hot and because they're too soft. Another thing.
Yeah.
And the question is,
has
Nathan McIntyre made his tires very soft? Oh Jesus! Everybody's hitting that outside wall there at the swimming pool section. He's not having a very good time.
Just a little bit. Not too many issues there. Yeah, but the tires. Yeah, around the you can either go no tire pressures at all, like can minimize them. Yeah, you don't overheat your tires, but because your tires are a bit softer, it does wear down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than it would. But it's like it has a pro. You don't overheat your tires, but you wear them out quicker. If you add more pressure, they overheat quicker, but they don't wear out as much.
100%.
Yeah,
That's the issues that you run into, especially on a night race and somewhere that's not usually a night race, is you get into these situations where you don't actually have the performance that you really were looking for. The tire being a little bit more spongy, being a bit softer, not giving you the same rotation, because I would prefer my tires to be, not too firm, but like have a bit of softness so that I get the traction out of corners. So like somewhere in the maybe middle soft area, sort of not in the middle, but sort of middle and soft, in that grey area, just keeping the tires soft enough to be able to make it out of the corners, but hard enough at the same time that the tire isn't going to extremely flex under load. Because if you make your tires too soft, as you know, they do wear down because you're doing a lot of rotational movement here. As you can see, the amount of angle they're putting into the steering to get it to turn around here is quite intense. And that car, the rears and the fronts will feel that, especially under load. So, when they're softer, they're like jelly. They move around. You don't want that. And the interesting thing with the softer tires in this game is that they have actually modelled a bit sort of a, you can feel the softness of the tire, especially when you hit a bump. So, it makes you understand a little bit about what the tire is doing. Kind of like in ACC, you can tell exactly how your tire is behaving on the surface that you're driving on, by not only seeing a chart but and a graph, but you also get to see, you get to feel it through the car as well, how it handles, whether the oversteer and understeer. This is the only element of this game that always lacked for me, was the oversteer and understeer element. I could never get it right. Always is after the first patch, the release day patch, and the 2 week patch that they do. After that, they always break the force feedback for me, and I can never ever get my pace back. Oh Jesus, Roman under pressure right now from Exo. We've been watching this in the background, but Exo's also making a few mistakes. A lot of people sliding about. Maybe not the same amount of grip they would have liked, Angelo.
Well, it depends. It depends really, because usually on a colder track, the tires actually work better. Usually, but like you said, it's a very fine edge to everything in the setup as well, in the tires especially. But having them too hard, yeah, like you said, if you have them too hard, they overheat quicker. Plus, they don't have as much grip because they're harder. If they're too soft, they wear down too much. So you need to find that very fine balance. It's a very small window for each driver. Each driver has their own driving style and their own ways to cope with tire wear. And ooh, there's a wing flying off of one of the cars though. It was a black outer end piece. I think that may have been from
Is it Pasteleo?
one of the Mercedes.
I'm looking at Pasteleo right now. He is chasing down Somatic Coast. I can't seem to get a good look on his left end plate. No, I think.
Oh, it's Pasteleo.
It's not
No, it's Somatic Coast.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say.
Somatic's front wing.
Yeah, he's lost his front right end plate. A lot of pressure from Pasteleo to get that move done, but he's managed it perfectly. He is on the soft tyres, so he will be having to pit around about, I would say, lap 15 to 18 to get off those tyres. But we could see the tyres run a little bit longer because we're in the cooler temperatures now.
You're in low temperatures, yeah, right.
So
Correct. Plus Monaco is not. Sorry, wait, carry on.
I was just going to say, yeah, because even though it's one of those tracks where things tend to happen and that's it, my always my biggest thing is, like, fair enough, it's one of those circuits.
Ooh, damage for Wolf as well.
Yeah, I saw that happen. I think he's managed to get into the pits though. Maybe
Hopefully they change his front wing.
Strategy a bit here. He's going on the softs, I believe. Yeah, they're gonna take that off. He's missing an end plate. I remember when I had my podium here. I actually had half a wing. Like, it was that bad.
What game was it? What game was that?
F121.
Okay, that's actually surprising. F1 2016 was the last game where you could have
It was not
can't
half
have that wing there.
It wasn't half. It was like I lost my end plate.
And it still is like considerable amount of downforce loss ever since 2017, losing a bit of an end plate.
It's
It's awful.
And
Yeah.
you can't turn the car around here. And I mean, you don't need the downforce for speed here. You need the downforce for turning. Having that higher speed through the corners is always beneficial, but a lot of the corners are low speed, so it's all mechanical grip. So, you know, and I feel like in some ways you should be able to technically run without a wing gear and still be quick.
That was what I was thinking. But obviously these cars do rely on a lot of downforce anyway, as we get the first.
Yeah, I mean, 3 seconds, 11 laps in. I mean, maybe a little bit early to be grabbing the penalty pen now, but yeah, 3 seconds, I guess. As long as he doesn't get another 3 seconds, you'll be fine. Oh, Angelo has disconnected, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get him back in as soon as possible. I think his internet has just had a shitty moment. That's what you get for living in Switzerland. I'm gonna invite him to the game again. Get him in. Yeah, he's just left the party, so give me 2 seconds and we'll get him back in. But we'll continue watching the racing while this actually happens. I believe I've managed to get him in. I'm gonna send him an invite to the party again. And there he is, he's back. There he is, he's back. Angelo's back.
Sorry for that.
What
Sorry.
happened? Internet?
Yes.
Big
just
shit
decided
happens.
to. Just sneezed. The internet sneezed for a few seconds.
That's what happens when you live in a underdeveloped country like Switzerland, chat.
No, usually don't worry. Usually the connection is the connection usually is fine, but there are a few hiccups every once in a while.
Rookie was posting it on 7 laps in. He asked us how we are. We're good, Rookie. He got 7 laps in and the grid is still close, completely different to last night. Which is very true. So, now, we're watching ERC EXO push on to the back of Roman. And we're seeing a lot of change in the tempo now. I think EXO's starting to get a little bit more hyped. He's made a few moves. And we'll see where it goes. Chat, I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. Because I think my dad's angry about something, which is lovely. I will be back. Angelo will keep you company for 2 minutes. We'll watch EXO as Wreckage is chasing him down currently. But that is the closest battle on track. Hopefully he'll be back within 2 minutes. So we can catch the rest of the action. So chat, bear with me. Angelo has got the MC mode now. He is going to chill out with you guys. And we'll leave you guys to enjoy it. Angelo, take it away.
Yep, I will do that. So, as Andrew will be back in a few minutes, I will take over, like you just said. As I was, there's okay, a little bit of lag there going on. Look like there's just accidents happening, but everything's fine. As EXO gets past Roman, I didn't know how that really went because it was a bit laggy there. But he did get passed into into turn 1, so he did do a few heroics into Saint Devote, and it did work. In front of him, Thanos, not too far away. I think he's going to catch him pretty soon. So EXO doing a great job of recovering. In the meantime, let me just quickly activate the telemetry so I can see how things are going. So far, EXO's gained 6 places off of his starting position. He is on the medium tires compared to, except Thanos is also on the mediums, 12 laps. The rest ahead are either on softs or hards, behind or at the front. Speaking of the front, even though you're still watching EXO, at the moment, Bird is being put in a bit more pressure by Nathan. He's closed up that gap quite considerably since before I disconnected. The gap was about 2 seconds and it's down to 0. As something's happened at the back, I think it was caught on stream. Roman is out and he's left the session. Unfortunate for him, he crashed. I think in the
we're yellow flag. Sorry, I just saw this now. Yellow flag in sector 3. Roman is out of the session. Is he retired?
I think
in
you
the
may
pits
have
or
caught
he
that.
crashed?
No, he's crashed. I think you may have caught him because it was right behind EXO.
There is
you
a
were
bit of
watching
lag
him.
going on right now.
Yeah, there is. It looked like everyone
Captain
was
No
crashing.
Beard has left the session. Let me just have a look on the. You'll be joining next week, Rookie. Well, you know, a bit late for that. The race is now.
Jumps into his car, 15 laps down. I could still win.
I love how Rookie's actually messaged me, right? He's messaged me on Discord and he goes, "Don't ignore me in Twitch chat, Sugar Plum." I didn't ignore you. I did acknowledge you. I just wasn't looking at chat at the time. There's a lot going on.
Well,
I
of you,
refuse
Rookie.
tonight. We'll see, Rookie. We'll see at Rookie Legends. Oh god, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon of hating Rookie. We love that. We hate Rookie chat. We need to start a petition to have Rookie removed from everything he's ever done. No. So we're...
Can't argue with that.
Is there anyone that's
loving.
been disconnected currently?
No, except me. Nobody else, I think. Except maybe Morgan, I think. He may have left. But other than that,
Do you want to
there's
see if
just
you can
me who's
invite him back?
disconnected.
I don't know. I
Can
told
try, I'm trying. No, I've been trying, but I can't access his gamer card.
because he's on PC. Did you not?
He's on PC.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
not add his
couldn't.
EA?
You can't do that on. I was able to do that on other people, but I can't. I specifically can't do it with him for some reason.
He's maybe set his account to private so nobody can access it via lobbies. Oh well.
Yeah, I've been trying to even like before the race started. I've been trying to get him in.
We did ask prior.
But wait, I already have him as a friend, so no issues there. I've managed to send him an invite. Just send another one for good measure.
I love how Casper joins in the chat in the international paddock chat and already jumps in the rookie slander. I love this. It's just truly amazing as EXO is looking on the back of Bluntblade now. He's back in. He's managed to get in now.
So I did. So yeah, good. Getting him in, managing to send him the invite there in the end. Completely.
Because I've never known actually fully how to do that, and plus because I normally stream the races, I don't like doing the inviting. I always feel like it because it interrupts the streaming quite heavily, and watching the stream it's hard to do.
I managed to get him in. I thought I didn't have him as a friend because I couldn't add him, but he was there in the list. He did appear all of a sudden. Then I managed to get him in. So he's out again. He's left again. Oh dear. Let me try again. Get him in here. Just to make. Send him another invite.
I predicted it, didn't I? I predicted that PC guys would get kicked out of the lobby.
Well, so far, there's
wreckage crash. That is going to be a safety car. If this game doesn't give a safety car for that, he has crashed at the chicane, and that is... How is that not a safety car? Safety cars around Monaco are so bugged. This game is so bad for it. I don't know if it's done a... The last time, if it was it Papa Champs, the last one that we did round here, well, last time I did for comms round here, and we had 2 safety cars, but like 7 people had crashed in compromising areas, and it's like, what the hell? It's always been a bit buggy since 22 though. 21 was interesting. It would give you a safety car for someone losing their wing, but not actually give you a safety car for someone smashing into a wall at 150 mile an hour. So it was like,
yeah,
you know, I don't understand. Oh Jesus, Captain Morgan Nobeer sending it deep into that corner there as Bird is actually about to lap him. Nathan McIntyre 1.5 seconds behind currently. There's not much of a gap to hold your hands up about. But right now EXO is the only major battle right now because he's got Wolf, who had wing damage on the first 10 to 12 laps of the race. He's chasing his way back up through the pack, and he's got to get through the Minister of Defence, which is ERC EXO. It's Minister of Defence specifically for South Africa, but yet somehow is doing very well at holding up people in every other country in the world. I didn't realise they had that much of a nuclear deterrent. But either way, Thanos is, you know, he's not breaking to the pressure, and this is the one thing we talked about last season. Bluntblade was one of our, so both Bluntblade and Shaggy were our drivers of the season, just due to their racecraft improving and their overall pace improving so much on that last season of ERC. And it's not just on Shaggy and Bluntblade's part. A lot of people have gained a lot of time understanding the cars in this game, and I will say now that no matter what you do, you cannot take away how strong Mr. ERC Fanos says, as Wolf nearly loses the back end. He keeps it. Jesus Christ, son. That was a bucking rodeo. And Fanos under pressure now from Exo as they go up the hill towards the really long left hand. It's actually one of my favourite corners on this track because it
Yeah, these
undulates
two
quite a lot.
corners.
That one there, it catches me out, but it's quite an intriguing corner when you get it right. This one here, because you're going downhill, you have to brake earlier than you think, and this one as well. A lot of people dive into this corner thinking that you're going to get the quickest exit, and it doesn't really work.
It's interesting to see that many drivers here almost everyone goes into there in first gear. It's interesting to me. It's may need to look into that.
I like going into first because of the engine braking.
I go into second because it rotates the car more.
Oh no, I'll put it in first, but I'll put it up to second before I leave the corner. The engine braking is so efficient because, in 21 the engine braking was quite good, and I was in the Mercedes Eco Performance when I got my podium. It was the last time I properly raced this track, and I'll say it now, and I'll say it as much as I can, that no matter what happened, I had such a good time ducking and weaving through traffic, and I really enjoyed it. And it's just enjoyable to me, and I can't wait to see how well the last race goes on on Sunday as well around Monaco, because these are the two 100% races on Thursday and Sunday, and yesterday was obviously the 50% managers. And you get a lot of driving pace coming from random moments on track, and I think especially here you've got so much time to make up on people going through the tunnel section. It is quite crazy to think how good some of these drivers actually are.
Yes, but Nathan has a massive moment there. Behind Bird, he's kept it. Yeah, these two have said goodbye. They've logged out and have said goodbye to the rest of the field. It's half a minute gap to Pasteleo.
And even then, Pasteleo's 10 seconds up on Mr. Bluntblade, who's sticking to the inside here. Goes very defensive on Exo, and Exo is hung out to dry. He's got 3 cars behind him now. He's got Somatic Coast and Wolf. Somatic Coast trying to go for the move down the inside here on the left-hander. He's putting a lot of pressure on him. Exo runs wide, and that's the move done.
Oh, no, not yet. Now it is. What an overtake. What respect between the two there.
Yeah,
leave each other space.
Exo knew he was coming, and the only place he could go was on the outside.
They've rammed.
Oh no. That's going to be some wing damage. I don't think that was intentional. I think he actually got punted.
No intention. No, you can see it was accidental there. No issues. Hopefully no issues there with the damage.
Up on the inside of Bluntblade, a little bit of contact, bit of banging wheels.
He went around the outside of the tunnel and he managed to get himself next to him. That is an insane overtake.
Now
from Somatic.
Exo is really struggling now. I think those mediums coming to the end of their life. As you can see, Wolf obviously on fresher tyres. On the softs, he's still within about 10 laps of those tyres going on. He's outpacing him now, and we are approximately a third through the race, and we'll see how it goes, because
Nathan has pit from second place, and now he's going to put pressure under. He's going to put pressure on Bird. Yeah, so we've missed that, but he did go into the pits just now. At the end of the previous lap, so this is going to be interesting. This is where it gets interesting now. It gets tasty. So what does Bird do? Bird has just lost 2 seconds already. He keeps going. So, like you said, maybe Bird is on a 1-stop. Maybe Nathan is on a 2-stop. We'll find out pretty soon about that.
I would say the 1-stop is pretty sketchy around here because your tires die quite quickly. But if you can go from hards onto soft, maybe including safety car, then you could be on for a win. Um,
Possibly,
I
yeah.
don't think it's very possible to go right now from what I'm seeing with tire performances with Exos mediums and Blunt Blades mediums. Blunt is actually going in the pits. Talking to that there, um, the medium soft might not be ideal. It might actually have to be hard medium soft if they're wanting to do that, or hard soft. I think the hard soft is more an efficient strategy. So you go soft, hard, soft would have been my choice of strategy if I had seen this race prior and how the tires behave.
Yeah, you also can't forget though that Monaco usually it's best if you try. My idea, Monaco. Maybe Bird is just gonna stay out as long as possible until a safety car comes out. Because this point, he's sitting there in the lead, right? He's thinking to himself, right? I have the lead. I have the moral high ground. I have track position, right? If a safety car comes out, I can pit. Probably stay ahead of Nathan at this very moment. He can stay out for as long as he wants, because he knows pretty much as past Legos into the pits after 22 laps on the soft. Nathan may have to do another stop because he's done 22 laps on mediums, on hards, sorry. So there's no way he's gonna do that many more on medium tires. Of course, car is lighter, obviously, yeah. Track temperatures may be a bit cooler because time is passing still. Nathan can catch up to Bird, but the question is he gonna be able to overtake him? If he can't, then he can just roadblock him until they both have to pit again.
It's quite
Essentially.
an interesting one because Somatic is obviously that 24.5 seconds, or sorry, actually only 25 seconds behind Nathan McIntyre now. All that
Mhm.
battling. Pasileo obviously he takes to the pits to put his fresh set of mediums on, and we're in a situation now where Somatic Coast is in third position on hard tyres. He's not going to want to pit anytime soon because he has pitted recently. And he could
Yep.
either go to the end and hope and pray that he takes the lead with a few laps to go and holds it because there's no safety car, or he prays for a safety car, gets in first, get his tyres done, and that's it. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, it can happen that the two in the leads are past the pit entry, and it comes out right as he is going through, and he can go and pit, and the others still have to pit. I know how that feels. I've felt it before, being in the lead, the car behind me 2 seconds behind. Safety car comes out. I missed the pit entry, and the guy behind doesn't, and I catch the safety car, and it's very demoralizing. Can happen. It can happen at any point, especially around a circuit like this. But we'll see. At the moment, Bird does have
He's
cards
losing
in his
time.
favor. He is losing time. He
Right
is.
now, if he pits, he loses position.
That is true. Yeah, and this is why I think he's staying out longer, so he doesn't lose track position.
There is still a little bit of life left in Bird's tyres, but he is lighting the map out of a lot of corners, which isn't helping his case. You do not want those rears to get too worn down too soon, because once they do
True.
go, that's it. It's a ball and chain. And, you know, you've got the chain dragging with this big ball behind you, and it feels like your back end is just going at every opportunity. And you don't want that. Yeah,
Yeah.
theoretically, 45 to 50 laps, I would say, is their lifespan. I mean, they can last a whole race. That's what they should do. They should be able to last a whole race distance um, by the FIA regulations. But it depends on how a driver interprets a lot of interprets going on.
Yes.
Um, it's how the driver interprets the tire usage on the track itself. My wording behind this would be that Bird will probably pit within the next 5 laps. He's losing a lot of time right now. And Nathan, on the mediums, it's working perfectly for him. We know his tyres are probably going to last for another, was at about 15 laps
Mm.
to 16
Mhm.
laps right now. That takes him to, either medium range to the end or soft, and he really pushes these medium lifetimes. So he's got to really think about it. The soft tires are lasting about 15 to 17 laps right now. And that is from the drivers that are pushing it, like Nathan McIntyre. So we will see how that plays out.
Ooh, Pastelea may be going for a move though. On Exo into turn 1. Heroics into Saint Devote for the two Mercedes cars as they manage to go through side by side. No contact made. Going up the hill, still side by side. Who's gonna get out ahead? We need to see, and it is Pasteleo as Exo concedes position. He's on 26 lap old mediums.
Pardon the late
They
picking
have
up a penalty. Sorry. Quite
no
interesting.
worries.
Quite interesting. That was a fantastic move from Pasteleo into Sandovo. And it's not particularly a spot that you can be shy on. You have to commit. Once you're alongside, you have to commit. You know your turning point. And if you mess it up, not only could you ruin your race, but you could ruin somebody else's race. So you've got to be very careful. Captain Morgan No Beard has managed to catch up with Bluntblade. He's 3.5 seconds, or 3.3 seconds behind him now, and that gap is reducing. I think our man Thanos will need to pit soon because those tires be dying.
Now look, ooh, even Nathan as well is sliding around a little bit now.
I mean,
Um,
he is running no TC. It is night time. I'm gonna give him the full benefit of the doubt right now that his tires are still alive. Just for
I mean,
the
yeah,
sake
of course. Yeah, compared to me, 27 old lap old hards, sorry. He just needs to make sure not to light him up too much. It does look like he's sliding through. Like you said, he is on no traction. And
He's doing well
massive
with his throttle control at the moment, but it's that last corner that everybody's getting caught out with, trying to get the power down early. Wolf got caught out with it earlier, and we saw him nearly lose the car into the barrier. He nearly met our good friend Barry R.
Ah,
Very
yes,
early
we
on.
love ourselves, Barry. We love you, Barry. Or
Lord VK a little bit slow on entry there. I think he could have gained a lot more time than he did on Wolf. He's avoiding a lot of curbing right now. Maybe a bit scared of the curbs around here. I wouldn't blame him.
why? He's really close to the wall. He maybe just wants to have a little bit of a safety net in between, like in terms of gap ahead of him.
There we
As
go.
look there,
Wolf's going in the pits again. He's getting off
maybe
his soft
wing
tires.
damage.
It doesn't look like he's getting a wing change. He's
No,
actually
it's fine
changing.
then.
He's having a routine stop. He's going to go mediums from now. Maybe mediums from now to softs.
Yeah, he's got maybe he's done like
Theoretically.
medium soft. Yeah. Nathan is slowly catching, slowly but surely. Ooh, oh, he's damaged his wing. He's damaged his wing. He's into the pits now.
Oh no, that's his strategy. Screwed.
Yeah, he's
He's
lost his
getting
end plate.
softs. He's having to put softs on. So all that time that he's just gained on Bird is for nothing. His whole strategy is to pot. That is it.
And that was also something I wanted to say. If he stays in the lead, something happens behind him. Like Berg can usually drivers in first can stay out as long as he wants because he can. If somebody catches him, he can just roadblock, or just needs to wait for something to happen behind him, and it has happened, and it's given him.
It's actually given him a new lease on life because he can essentially go for another 6 laps on those hards. I would say maybe those hards. I would actually say maybe 5 laps. That's putting him into one-stop territory with the mediums. And I mean,
I believe,
as long as he's had a very smooth run so far. He's not made much contact with the wall. He's just driving the car, and theoretically is the quickest car on track at the moment. Still going.
Nathan gets a penalty.
Nathan, yeah, everything. you know, when it rains, it pours, unfortunately, in Formula One. And he gets a penalty for his troubles as well, which is not ideal. Thank you very much, Codemasters, for implementing a 3-second time penalty um, to absolutely everybody who drives a car normally. And we see Lord Rike now on the back of Exo, which is quite interesting because Exo's not necessarily being the conservative soul he would usually be. As he would be going into the pits now, he's actually worn those mediums quite far out. I mean, what's the level of stops he's done? This is his first stop, technically. Yeah, that is his first stop. That's it, done. So right now, currently in a good position, and that's him going on the softs, and he's going to go. I'm going to call his strategy right now: medium, soft, soft, to the end. From now, he's going to go one more set of softs because he's only used the medium tire compound. Now he's got his softs on, try and make up some ground that he lost. It would help if I didn't drop my mouse onto my leg, or off of my leg, I should say. That's very helpful, Goose. You massive dickhead. And we look down the paddock right now, and we see. I've just dropped it again. I don't fucking care. I don't care anymore. This is fine. Pasteleo is chasing down for a podium spot at the moment. We are 32 laps into the race.
7 seconds gained. 7 seconds gained by Nathan in the last two laps. That's a lot of time to gain.
Now the interesting thing is, Angelo, is Pasteleo is on the back of Somatic Coast. When does he make this move?
Somatic is on 22 lap old, 22 lap old hards. Sorry, I forgot how to speech. There you go, he's side by side with him. He's had a better exit, side by side in the tunnel. Is that gonna, would they make a little bit of contact?
A little bit there, but it was technically, oh, and he's made contact with him. That could be
damage.
Yeah.
That's damage to his wing. Damage to his wing.
I can see that being a penalty.
Youch.
That's going to be reviewed by the stewards.
Yeah, possibly.
And just to let you guys know, again, chat, we always have to put this disclaimer. We're not stewards. None of us are stewards. So the only one of us that is a steward is Mike, and he's not allowed to use or say anything he says on stream as basically. We made an agreement with ERC that nothing that we say can be taken in context. It has to be, out of context and used in tickets. They have to.
Seconds.
They've been instructed that they literally cannot use anything we say as hearsay. It has to be said as hearsay. It's not. It's an opinion. It's not factual. It's factual for what we see, but it's an opinion created by an individual, not someone who is a trained steward. Not saying that I do not have stewarding credentials. I have stewarded for leagues in the past, but the reality of the situation is that anything that we say or do cannot be used against us, and that is how it goes. And we hold ourselves to that because we are entitled to free speech, and that's how we run our commentary team. Isn't that right, Angelissimo?
Yes.
We're on board with
I guess so.
After
I
that
guess so.
massive problem, and now already Captain Morgan Nobeard is causing an issue for Exo, who is on a charge back up the field. And we'll see where he is. I mean, we've got 2 cars out of the race so far, and we're nearly halfway through.
It's been such a long race so far, and we're still just barely halfway through.
It feels like it's been like 2 whole race distances all in one, because Bird's not having a battle. All the battles are happening in the middle of the pack, and it probably makes it feel longer because we've only got 11 drivers. Chat, for any of you guys that haven't been racing tonight, why and how? It's the question I have for you, because if you're watching this, you could be racing. If you want to race, go over to International Paddock on Twitch, hit the exclamation mark Discord. Also say hello to Mike and Sam as they're doing SRC tonight. Big old Simtech. And use the exclamation mark Discord to get access to our completely public Discord server, where you can chat with all the commentators, you can chat with everybody, find out a little bit more about us and what we do here at International Paddock. You can do that anytime, live or not live, you can do that, so please make sure to do that. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello, welcome in. It is quite interesting to see the large demographic of people that watch our videos, and we really appreciate every single one of you. One thing we want to express is that you can still access our Discord. It is in the descriptions of each video, and also on our Twitch you can access our Discord using the same stuff I just said. So again, you were watching approximately 5 seconds, or sorry, half a minute ago from when I started talking, then you would have heard that exclamation mark Discord in the International Paddock channel, the main channel. You can access our Discord completely free, read the rules, accept them, and come and chat with us, and we'll be happy to accommodate. Anyway, getting back to the racing, Exo is in a position right now where he is catching on, well, essentially his rival for this race, Bluntblade. Gary, also known as ERC Thanos, is flying hard and is under pressure from the South African behind him in ERC Exo. Now the question would be, Exo is actually having a bit of understeer right there. I don't know, maybe he's clipped the wall somewhere, maybe he's not. I think he's fine, and he's pushing on hard. Angelo, what are you seeing up and down at the paddock at the moment?
I'll also know. Ooh, wait, is that a car without a wing? Yes, it is. It is Morgan, who has decided to go 1982 style, running no wing. He goes into the pits. I think it's still him driving.
Yeah, I mean, he's not having the best of luck out there, is he?
He's still in the points. He's still in ninth.
I mean,
still
the points system in this, you know, it goes all the way up to if you finish a race or not. So it's like, it's about where you finish is the important thing.
Yeah,
it makes it a little bit more spicy. You get those moments where you don't finish a race, obviously, but when you do finish, it's not only that satisfaction of finishing a race, but it is like the level of, you know, knowing that you have made it to the end of a 100% race. That is quite the challenge. I've won 100% race in my lifetime, and that was at China pre-season last season when the game
China
during the pre-season testing we did for F1 23, and yeah, I did quite well. I did the 100 on the Thursday because I had time, and I actually did quite well. Mike was watching it, he was commentating over it. I was holding my own against some of the quickest drivers in the world, so I was quite proud of myself. But then they changed the handling model once again and made it all gammy and crap. And,
yeah, the handling models still an issue for many.
It's rubbish. This game has never evolved from, like, it feels exactly the same to F1 2019, 2018 even, near enough. Like, they say they had changed it, but like, I could plug my TMX into every single game and probably post, well, I mean, I can't really say that if it was equal or realistic. They've all changed over the years themselves, but the pace and the cars is
personally, it's one just for driving. This game is pretty good. I enjoyed the game, the handling for this season, for this year, and I've tried the 2024 preview cars, and those feel even more amazing. And if that's anything to go by, like, they feel this great already. I can't wait for the actual game to come out and drive those cars, because
But
The
just
rear
wait
end
for them
grip.
to ruin the handling model, Angelo. You know
No,
that's
they
going to
didn't.
happen. They
But it
ruined
didn't
it for
happen
this
on
game.
this.
Yeah, they
Not
did.
when.
They did.
When?
2 weeks in. 2 weeks in, they had a massive update, and then everybody who uses like belt-fed wheels and every other wheel, the handling just went crap. It went back to that
Well,
sort of numb feeling.
okay. Well,
I
for the
will
wheel.
argue. I will argue the point on against that point that I made. Yes, they have made the cars a lot more like because they are shorter than the F121 20s cars and stuff. They do feel better. They feel like they are shorter wheelbase and stuff like that, and they do feel that they've got that still got the pace. But the big caveat is the feel of the game. I'm too used to playing games on PC, where everything feels so much better than no matter what you do on Xbox, or even just playing this game on PC, it feels crap in my opinion. Compared to what you can get your hands on in Settle Corsa with some handling mods and even R Factor 2, in my opinion, even though it's not a bad simulator. I mean, me and Jamie O'Connor 11 actually had a chat prior to the stream about Le Mans Ultimate, which is essentially R Factor 2, but for Le Mans, specifically. Pasteleo making a mistake there, and we briefly touched on the point of like the handling feeling so good on that game. And at R Factor 2, the handling did feel really good, but the one issue that they always had was that it was always oversteery. Like, no matter what car you were driving, no matter what car you were like gonna drive or anything around a circuit, it always felt as if you were sliding everywhere. You couldn't ever get the balance, like you couldn't get your force feedback to line up with how the car was handling. And I always felt like R Factor 2 sort of missed out on a lot of things, and now I guess it does feel a lot better. They've updated it a lot, but you know, R Factor 2, the focus of R Factor 2 is like gone now because like Le Mans Ultimate's there now, and that's their cash cow.
I think even though R Factor 2 is good, but I still prefer the old one, like the
Old R
original
Factor.
one.
Yeah, fair enough. Now listen,
Because
this is where I would argue the point, right? Best simulators currently on the market. You know, I'm not even gonna add because I haven't played Le Mans Ultimate yet. I did say that I was gonna make a review video on for International Paddock on Le Mans Ultimate for you guys, but I haven't gotten around to even purchasing the game yet because I've heard
Nathan pitting
horror
again.
stories about it at the moment. But I'm gonna do a sort of state of the game after sort of month, 2 months in, and just do a review after they've done a few patches, and just for you guys to see how I feel about the game, because like I'm not an experienced sim racer. Some of you guys are, some of you are not. Some of you are thinking about buying it and knowing that this game is coming to console, and some of you also maybe feel like it's maybe a little bit out of your reach at the moment. Rikaz gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not ideal. He's going to have to serve that on his next stop, if there is one for him, as we are over halfway through the race now. We are 41 laps out of 78 in the pitch black night here in Monte Carlo, Monaco, on the Riviera. It's beautiful here. It is absolutely beautiful. I flew over here on Flight Sim the other night as I was flying over to where I was going to. I was going to Tunisia from East Midlands in an A321, and it was beautiful skies. You could see all the way right down into Nice, and I could actually see Monaco from the plane as well, which was really cool. You could see all the lighting and everything. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Angelo, you seen anything right now that's sort of poking your attention a little bit?
Nathan just pitting in again as he managed to close the gap on the previous stint to just about 0.8 of a second before he decided to pit. So now he's only 15 seconds behind his. But Bird, the fact that he's managed to go this long, I know the tires can last a long time. The fact that he's been able to drive like this for 42 laps, not make a single mistake so far, which costs him,
a costly mistake.
Like a costly mistake so far. It's no penalty. he is known for not getting penalties. I think he only got like one penalty last season in terms of track limits. That was in Abu Dhabi, penultimate round of the season. So no issues there in terms of track limits, but 43 laps now on the hards. Quite
Yeah,
impressive so far.
he is doing very well out there, and I think testament to obviously the champion that he is still this dominant in essentially one of, if not the shittest car to be in as well. Exo right now currently P4 as Pasileo has pitted, or is it Somatic Coast? One of them has made a pit stop in that period of time. Chai. Bird still leading the way. Nathan McIntyre in P2. He's actually gained 3 seconds in a lap, so I think it's time for Bird to think about pit stops very soon. Exo, on the other hand, he has obviously made it up to P4. Wolf in front of him, 1 second ahead, currently going for Sandoval. Thanos 12 seconds behind, he's left him in the dust. Lord Rike and Semantic Coast battling out at the back while they try and figure out the pecking order between both of those. I think Rike does very well in a defensive move going into Sandoval, but I think Somatic Coast might have a good run on him coming up the hill now. This is where the famous drain cover incident happened, and a lot of controversy followed, and it's quite interesting to see that. And here we go, down the inside. He was thinking about it. He's going to go there anyway. Rike actually gets spooked and goes nearly into the wall. I think he's okay.
Ooh.
And Somatic Coast is clear of him. Exo now closing in on Wolf, as I think Wolf making a few little mistakes where he doesn't need to make them at the moment. Little bit rusty potentially. You know, you'll find out in approximately 40 laps time. Well, 30 laps time actually, when we cross the finish line. Does he make it to the end? It's going to be quite interesting. Going back to that point about Le Mans Ultimate, Angelo, I mean, what's your first opinions? Have you watched anything on it?
I've not read too much into it yet. Le Mans Ultimate. It sounds like an interesting game, but like you said, people say it's very similar to R Factor 2, and yeah, I think I'll try it out at some point in the future, maybe at some point. But R Factor, if it's similar to R Factor 2, just R Factor 1 in general, I enjoy those games, especially the first one. So if they can flesh it out a little bit, if you can just improve a bit on it, because I've read the AI can break a little bit, just normal bugs that appear in a fresh game. But I can't wait to see how it progresses, especially now with the new season having started. So yeah, we shall see how that goes.
Hell yeah. Chat, if you haven't seen anything from the game, I suggest you can have a wee look at it, as Somatic Coast is putting pressure on ERC Thanos now, as well as Exo putting pressure on Wolf. Everything happening at once, it would seem, Angelo. And we're coming up into Sandoval. He goes wide. Somatic Coast trying to maybe like getting a little bit spooked out on the braking there, as you know, Blunt Blade maybe being a little bit conservative on his brake stage. He just wants to make it to the end. As he goes deep,
Guys, run wide.
and Somatic Coast is there to mop up the mess. He nearly lost the back end out of there.
Up to P5 now.
Now we see how already he's gained a second on Thanos after him mistaking the corner. Almost maybe like making the mistake on purpose, intentionally, to let him by. He knows he was quicker, but because that's not like Gary to make a mistake like that at Sandoval, just at the end of Sandoval, and then let him have the run on him up there. But oh god, Wolf is sideways out of every corner right now. He's trying his hardest, but maybe his throttle foot maybe not being tuned and dialed in the way he would like it to be.
Well, maybe. What I'm interested to see now is how much time can Bird gain on Nathan now on the mediums. Because Bird's like I
He is
said, he
gaining.
pitted like 2 laps ago, and 4 laps fresher tires. Then Nathan, I think those will make a little bit of a difference,
He
but
is
now he has to
gaining
gain.
slowly
Yeah,
but
he is.
surely. He is, and it just depends because I think Bird's got a very concise driving style compared to Nathan. Nathan's quite uh, get on the gas and floor it type of guy, and Bird, on the other hand, is very conservative. As he sets the fastest lap of the session so far. I think it was a 1:28.8 or it was a 1:23.8. It was one of the other. So I saw that pop up very quickly. EXO now 6 tenths behind Wolf, as Wolf is maybe having a little bit of issues right now, trying to keep the South African behind him. We could see 2 South Africans on the podium tonight again. It's been a wee while since I've seen that.
Oh, we could see, like Monaco, anything can happen.
Monaco, yeah, anything can happen. Rike now putting a lot of pressure on Gary Bluntblade, also known as ERC Fanos, coming through the final corner now, and Rike is actually flying at the moment. He's got a lot of pace in him tonight. I remember Rike when he joined, he was barely had any pace to him whatsoever, and now he's actually putting pressure on Bluntblade. And right now, Gary Bluntblade under pressure considerably. He's 7.5 seconds down a somatic coast already in the space of a lap and a half / 2 laps, and that's crazy.
Bird is also gaining again. He's gained another second on Nathan, so he's getting there. Slowly getting there. There's 30 laps left now, just now, so still a long way to go. Really long way to go.
Rike was thinking about it, but he didn't manage to get the move done just yet. He was trying to go down the outside in the tunnel section, and Mr. Fanos sort of snapped his fingers and said no.
If you really wanted to, yeah, if you really wanted to, Thanos could make disappear the entire field.
Funny Marvel jokes that my girlfriend wouldn't get because she doesn't watch Marvel. I know. she's great.
That funny marbles.
58. We're nearly lap 50 now, and as soon as Nathan McIntyre crossed the line once again, we will be on lap 50, leaving us with 28 laps of racing to go. Oh, and Bluntblade making mistakes now. I don't know what's going on with him tonight. I wonder if he's got damage somewhere on the side pod that we're not seeing. He could have some serious damage to that car, Angelo.
Ooh.
Back on it, Angelo. It's time to get into action.
It's time to, you have awakened the Angelo. My time to shine. I've re-invited him back into the lobby.
Watching now is EXO.
Wait, Bird has just gone through, he's phased through Morgan, so no issues there. Right. Now, excellent 18 lap on tyres with Wolf. Ooh, past the layers in the pits. Onto used hards already. Already used hards, 8 laps. Oh. Morgan has joined again, so good to see that that's working out quite well. I mean, so far.
And EXO's going in the pits. That's EXO pitting. That'll be his last pit stop. We're going to mediums potentially. Actually, no. Mediums to the end from now. 28
28
laps?
laps should be doable.
Yeah, 28 laps. I think you'll be fine for mediums to the end from now. Exo, yep, we were right. He's on the mediums now. That's it. It's over for him. He's done his pit stops. He just has to drive that car home in one piece. Semantic Coast, currently P4 at the moment. Yeah, you could say, yeah, he is gaining time on Wolf ahead, but Wolf is nowhere near the other drivers. There's a whole near enough a sector between them. Actually, no, nearly 2 sectors between them, and he's about to get lapped. So it shows you the true pace of the guys up front and the pace, because Bird is catching very slowly to the back of Nathan McIntyre now. Nathan McIntyre going through the hairpin as Bird comes, he's maybe about, I would say, 3 corners behind at the moment. He's having to go through lap traffic as well, which is not ideal in any case of the imagination. But we'll see how that goes. I'm going to just turn the sound up. I think it's okay, but we'll see. Exo has come out of the pits in 6th position. He's already challenging to chase down the one and only Lord Rike. But right now, actually, Exo is matching Nathan McIntyre's times as close as he can do anyway. A little bit slow out of some of the corners, but he is getting
He is getting there slowly but surely.
using that sort of blue flag moment where you can sort of ERS your hell, yourself to hell. It's pretty cool, actually.
Indeed. Indeed. It's 26 laps left. At the moment. It's getting closer and closer to the end. I bet the drivers are feeling the strain.
Is he disconnected? Could you invite
he-
him to the session? 'Cause
Wait,
he's
he-
ghosted.
Oh, okay.
No, he's
Oh,
back.
no, he's back. He was in AI, I think. Oh, wait, he's ghosted again.
Ghosted.
No, he's back. He
Oh,
is
he's
still
ghosting
here,
again.
still.
He's blinking. What's going on?
Strange, but so is EXO.
Maybe because they're blue flags? Potentially because they were blue flags. Exo's already on the back of Lord Rike now.
But yeah, because they have Nathan ahead of them.
It must be blue flags. The issues with blue flagging. Now Exo, he is really putting a lot of pressure on Rike already. He's right up on the back of his trumpet. But yeah.
A lot of pressure
Thought on
indeed.
the actual F1 season at the moment. Alonso topped the FP2, and I'm hoping for Alonso win, says Casper. I don't watch it anymore, so Angela's your man for that question. Angela, what do you think of that question?
Sorry, wait, give me a second. Question. F1 season at the moment, so FP2 for an Alonso win. No. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but Max is going to win the race.
Only hope and dream.
Yeah, but I'm a realistic type of guy, so when I see
No,
something,
you're not. You're a Ferrari supporter.
Yeah, but Ferrari realistically can finish 3rd and 4th at best.
No, Ferrari can realistically finish as best as they fucking can do without making mistakes, and that's the truth. That every time it's going. Come on, let me dream, damn it. Yeah, listen here, you ain't dreaming hard enough, because it's not working. Oh, here we go. Exo is like, he's lit up now. He is lit up now. Everything he is doing, he's throwing it at Rike to get into 5th position. This is a target position for him. He wants to stay 5th, I would assume, to the end of the race. Because any other driver in front of him, I guess he could put pressure on Wolf, as he will probably have to pit stop again, I would assume. But a target position is 5th for him currently.
At the moment, does seem to be, could be going well.
Thanks, Andrew Love. I'll just dream harder. Yeah, Casper, you're just gonna have to, mate.
No, but no, jokes aside, I couldn't watch any of the F2, any of the two FP2 any of the two sessions, because I was at work for both of them, so I couldn't watch it.
There we go.
Two
Exo gets the DRS. He makes the move into
and
Sandoval.
inside, lovely,
And now
lovely,
we
jubbly.
see Lord Rike trying to chase up the hill, but I don't really think there's much left for him to say. Lord Rike is on the hards, Exo's on the mediums. It's sort of done and done.
9.6 seconds is the gap between the top two. Somatic has closed the gap now to Wolf as well. But so, ooh, very close to the wall. Somatic is really close again to what is really pushing the limit here. Both of them. Gap still closing, still getting smaller between Nathan and Bird. And basically all Bird needs to do now is get within 3 seconds of Nathan and he's got the race in the bag.
Yeah, the question is when is that going to happen? Because right now Somatic is chasing down Wolf. He goes for he tries to go for the switchback. These guys are fighting hard. Somatic actually nearly making contact with Wolf. Wolf putting a lot of pressure to fight hard and defend here. Trying to push him to the outside. Really good defensive move
contact,
there from Bird.
contact.
Ooh, that's a bit of a shove there. It's a bit of a shove there. It's a bit dirty. I mean, he had plenty of track and there was no need to turn into him, I think. I don't think it's intentional through there, to be honest, because they are side by side, going through like a section that's not very good side by side. But yeah, that wasn't very nice to see. Wolf now. Maybe,
really getting the elbows out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was very hard racing, to be honest, and I think fair enough. Wolf is the one that came out like hard done by there, but I do feel as though Somatic kind of was a bit over aggressive at that point. He was quite aggressive trying to get that move done, which is fair enough. I do like aggressive moves, but I feel like he's coming up this point here into the long left-hander at the casino section, and it's just not ideal because they were side by side through here, and it does get tight quite quickly. But I think Wolf tried to leave him as much space as possible, but then he does hit him. I don't know. I guess we may see a ticket come out about that for next week's outcomes. But Bird 8 seconds back now, as we are approximately 20 laps away from the end of this race, and I think Nathan's probably going to have to pit again for his tires.
No, maybe not, but we shall see. Bird managed to get his tires for like 42 laps, and those were around the hards. Lighter cars, less fuel, I think, also can help. Bird obviously is on the fresher tires of the two. 5 laps less, I think he's got a big advantage in that regard.
Wolf is in the pits now. He's on his softs to the end, so yeah, I think he realised after he lost that position so easily to Somatic Coast in some ways, right? Even though he was maybe a little bit hard done by with the contact, you still lose that position either way due to pace. And yeah, the soft tyres are now on. Gloves are off for him. He's just going to try and push his way back up the grid again and hope that Exo doesn't hold him up. He's about 18 seconds back from Exo at the moment, back in P4 where he was. So we should see some potential pace come out of nowhere for him.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. So far, Bird's getting another second on Nathan. Nathan really slowly starting to get put under some pressure. And just a minute, I'm being called. I need to. Just, Andrew, I'll be gone for a minute. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I'll take over. Anyway, chat.
Apologies.
How are we? We're nearly there. It has been quite a long race here in Monaco. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling my eyes a little bit hard done by. I think only 11 drivers tonight. I can imagine there's a few people going to get a slating for not turning up tonight because it was just Monaco. Wolf now trying his hardest to catch EXO up. He's gained about 4 seconds, well, about 2-3 seconds that lap. Those softs come into their own within that lap, and they are pretty good around here. I think there's no other tyre would want to be on, to be honest, than softs. If you can run the softs as long as you possibly could, every time, so good. Nathan gets another 3-second penalty, and I mean, that just means now that Bird just needs to gain a second, or not even that, half a second, and he's taking the win from Nathan McIntyre. Not the situation that he wants to be in when Bird is already catching him with 19 laps of racing to go. So, you know, and that is him going into the pits. He's going to go on the soft tyre. That is a power play. I think Bird's going to have to react to that, because we'll see what the gap is now. It's going to be 12 seconds. He's going to have to think about pitting. If he doesn't pit, he could be in danger of losing this win. You know, you can't really play gambles. 18 laps of racing to go, and we could be in a situation where Bird could be down that time, depending on how the softs play out for Nathan McIntyre. So I don't know how many stops has Bird done. He hasn't really used many. Yeah, he's only had one stop. He went from hard to medium. He's got all his softs. He can pit now, and he would secure his win. It's a safe strategy. He's not going to, and I feel like Nathan is just going to try his hardest to catch up. He's got approximately 20 seconds to catch up. He's got to pass Bird for one, and then also gain 6 seconds plus a buffer on Bird, and it's quite a tall ask, and I think Bird's just hoping that that's what's going to happen, and it's going to spice up a little bit now towards the end of this race, because you can already see the pace of Nathan McIntyre already on those soft tyres coming through. Captain Morgan Nobeard down in P8 at the moment. He's been a wee trooper today. He's been a trooper. He's kept fighting. He's kept pushing. I think Blunt Blade just trying to get to the end of the race, to be honest. He's been blue flagged at the moment. He's trying to do his own race. Maybe getting damaged in places where he can't fix it this race, so unfortunate, but it does happen. Bird now. Let's see what he can do in the space of 17 laps. Can he hold Nathan McIntyre ransom and stop him from overtaking him, or is it going to be all over? Because it's quite a dangerous play. Nathan McIntyre pitted to get the soft tyres, only lost a few seconds, and now in many ways is already gaining considerably. It could be, and Bird should have pitted in those laps to get on softs. He should have pitted, and it is the way it goes. But it's going to be a very close race to the end.
That's opened up quite a bit the chances of Nathan winning this.
It has, because he's got that 6 second penalty.
Oh, he's got 6 seconds now.
He has to pass for over 12 seconds right now, but he's gained so much time in these first few laps that he's definitely got the pace over
Ooh.
Bird. When he makes a mistake like that, it's gonna be a situation very slow going through there as a car is trying to let Nathan McIntyre pass, and it's to his benefit. It was a Ferrari who was going slow, I believe. No, it wasn't a Ferrari. It was the Williams, no, the Alpine of Wolf. Actually, he has been lapped. So that just shows you these two have been in a race of their own today.
Yeah,
and it's been
they're almost lapping everyone at this point. Now, so just quick. Now, I think about this. There's multiple ways this can go. So, obviously Nathan can't catch up to Bird. Doesn't manage to overtake him. Bird wins the race. Can manage to overtake him, and he wins the race, or he doesn't get enough time, and Bird wins the race. There's just many scenarios that can happen at the moment, and it's the thing. Like, he's got 6 seconds worth of time penalties, right? What Bird could do is also pit a little bit later when Nathan's tires are going off a cliff at some point, so he's gonna have to gain and catch only up to 6 seconds distance, because thanks to those 6 seconds time penalties, he doesn't need to gain back as much time. So there's quite a few ways this can go.
I honestly, right now, unless Bird holds on to that defensive position really well against Nathan, it's going to be really hard for him, because Bird's on old mediums now, really old mediums.
Yeah, 20 laps on them. Yeah.
And
yeah.
they're not going to last very long. They're going to last maybe about 30 laps. So his tires are going to be shot. So he's going to have to maybe 10 laps pit for softs, I would say, to be competitive. And even then, that lead's gone. Nathan's just going to run away with it, because look at him. He's caught up. He's 1.76 seconds behind now. 1.5 seconds, 1.4. It's just dropping so quickly, and Nathan is flying at the moment.
The question is now, how quickly can he get past Bird? If he doesn't even get past, we'll see about that. I think Bird, what he has to do is try and keep him as long as possible from getting past him, and if he does get past, make sure to not get any no contact, get into the pits, switch onto softs, and turn in qualifying mode.
Pretty much. We'll just watch his inputs through here, actually, so I think it'll be quite interesting to see how much power he's trying to put down, try and get that car to do what it's doing right now. And he's barely putting any inputs in, and he's flying right now. It's just crazy.
Nathan on 50% ERS deployment. Bird almost on 100 now.
Yeah, so Bird saved himself that ERS for defense. He's wanting a battle. That's why he's not pitted, I'm telling you. That's why he's wanting a battle for that position.
Oh, so he doesn't want to go away with the lead. He wants to battle.
I would say so. Yeah.
That sounds interesting. Ooh, look at how close he gets. Now, this is the crucial point.
I've noticed the stream's been a little bit laggy today, chat. I don't know why. So
it can happen. It's always on Thursdays that happens. No, but
honest, I had to set this up separately on Streamlabs to the normal international paddock account that I usually stream on. So it's all separate. But Nathan McIntyre now, he is trying really hard, but Bird's gonna hold him ransom right now.
It still looks like Bird is getting some very good traction out of the corners.
But it's not as quick as a soft tire though. Like it's considerably in the space of like 5 laps, Nathan McIntyre has gained over 15 seconds of time. Like that's 3 seconds a lap.
Oh, look! If he does that, look exactly this. This is what I mean. Bird needs to do is be a massive roadblock. And this could take Nathan by surprise at some point. Just make him do a mistake. He's getting too close, he needs to avoid him. Just tell you what, if there's something that is very difficult around Monaco, is staying close at the exit of the final turn, regardless what tires you have on.
He's trying to look for the move, but it's very difficult to make a move there, especially because the car moves so much.
He's hit the wall. He's hit the wall.
He's okay. I think he's managed to get away with that. He's hit it with his wheel. But it is very close now. EXO is chasing down Somatic Coast now to the end. These two are battling for position.
Well, yeah, these two, yeah.
As well, but we're going to focus on the top battle right now. We can have a look between both of them because this is the important one. First race of the season, setting precedent to who
both
is
of them and this
go for the championship in the 100. Nathan's trying so hard to just hold his car safely behind Bird, but it's hard.
He's hit the wall again.
The pressure is there. Bird has got 10 laps to hold on because he knows if he lets Nathan pass, that's it. So because it's going to be hard.
Not necessarily.
They're going to be on the same tires. I wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. Those softs still have performance even when they are dead, and that's the problem. Is that Bird should have pitted and reacted, I think, to Nathan McIntyre. I mean, that's my opinion. I feel like
look at this. Look at this.
Secured the win.
Look at this. I think the guy at that disadvantage at the moment is actually Nathan at the moment.
Oh yeah, 100%. He needs past him. If he can't get past him, that's it. I mean, he needs 6 seconds, and all it takes is again for Nathan to make a couple more mistakes, go wide or go early into some corners, catch the apex wrong, get another penalty, and that's it. It's definitely race over.
He's correcting the car quite a bit. He's hit the wall again.
He's
That's
struggling
the third time.
He's struggling behind Bird. The aero wash off of that car is causing him to make mistakes. He's not used to that. He's had the whole race pretty much nowhere near other traffic, and he's having to deal with it now. But this is any opportunity. This is the opportunity he's going to have now. Bird close off to defend into Sandoval. A fantastic defensive move.
Yeah, he closed the door beautifully there. Very gracious. Just that is defending. That is very clean. Like it's just he let the door open, then closed it at the right time.
He's doing really well at the moment, but he's got.
He is.
He's got about 9 laps to go.
Yeah, I think
doing the same thing, and it's going to be interesting to see if the South African crumbles or not. Will the Scotsman prevail, Nathan McIntyre, over the very old Bird? Oh God, it's a car park down here. What's happening? Somatic went deep, and EXO as well, now getting caught up in the battle. Those guys are actually having a battle of their own in front, and we're not watching that right now. We're watching the battle for the lead, but the battle that they've had is having to be avoided because the leaders are coming through.
Did he get DRS? No, he didn't. Bird didn't get DRS from the lapped car.
Bird goes to defend again. It's just so easy to cover off into that corner. You just leave it late, move in, and now Nathan's going to try to get up on the inside. Is he going to have the line? He's going to try so hard, but they're really pushing it up into the casino corner. There's nothing else, and Bird is still he's holding on by the skin of his teeth, Angelo. There's nothing else to describe it. These guys, there's only so much you can do.
Oh, Nathan again sliding. He's really pushing that McLaren.
He wants past him. He's getting more and more impatient. It's only a matter of time for either a massive mistake to come his way, or he's going to manage it and get past Bird because Bird's lost it under pressure. And it's very hard for Bird to lose it under pressure. We've seen it do him Speak, Andrew. Seen him do it on a few occasions, but not on many occasions has Bird lost it from the lead, just like that.
Bird has actually gained some time now.
Yeah, but it's to what avail? Because the DRS is going to gain it all back for Nathan. He's going to be back on his coattails again, riding him all the way to the end, it would seem.
7 laps to go. The previous lap, Bird just defended that 1 extra centimeter more. Oh, he's hit the wall again. Nathan is hitting walls at this rate. He's gonna run out of luck at some point if he keeps doing that.
You've seen the battle as well behind, which they're all a lap down, by the way, chat, but they are battling for the positions down from where Nathan and Bird are. That just shows you the dominance from these two today. They have literally taken this race by the horns and fucked everybody off. Yeah, Bird is doing very well right now. He's managed that whole second gap, and I think Nathan's tires are dead. They are definitely. They are at the point in their life where they're not giving him as much grip as
I think
he
there's
needs.
damage to the car too. I think that's still the case. Look, he's lost half a second now. Yeah, he's damaged the car.
Yeah, you can see the frustration. Like, he's made so many mistakes today that some of them, like,
yeah, look,
I guess you could blame the other traffic, but you can't really when you're battling that hard. I think they were already clear of the traffic.
Yeah.
He's made the errors on that last few laps.
Session.
Oh, I'll get him back. 2 seconds, I'll get him. See if I can grab him. Is he online? He should be online, surely. I don't like doing this, chat, but the battle is over.
Question is, does Bird want to pit? Go on the safe side, and maybe steal the fastest lap.
I mean, he's gonna get clean racing points. He's gonna have those extra points anyway. He's gonna get those 2 extra points added on. I mean, the fastest lap would be, I guess, a clean sweep for him at Monaco, but
why not? Why not?
He does have that opportunity to do it, but he puts it on a level pegging for the last 5 laps, I guess. But
no, he doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah, he's gonna.
I don't think it's worth it at that point. I think he knows to himself it's just about conserving the car to the end, getting to the end, and being on the top of the podium again. Doesn't feel that long ago since he was on the top of the podium, but he's given Nathan a run for his money tonight around this track, and I think it's a testament to why he was a champion of the 100.
Yeah, that is true. That's some very good pace there, good defensive maneuvers.
It's just been one of those races where everything sort of went his way. He's not had to make any hard decisions with pit stops because he's had damage or anything where it could have compromised his strategy. It's been a very clean run for him. And it's not very often you get a clean run at Monaco, and today he's dominated a very clean race so far. Hopefully for the last 4 to 5 laps, he holds to that promise and just gets to the end, because the reality of it is no matter what happens, he's managed to push his car to the limits, found where it was, and has continued to push to the end. And Nathan's gonna try and get there to the end, but I don't think it's gonna happen. He'll maybe within about 5 seconds off Bird, but still gonna be 12 seconds or so down. Nathan gets the fastest lap currently, and I can't see that getting topped unless one of the fast guys who have had a bad race ends up going into the pits now. But I think everyone's settled in their positions, Angelo. I think it's...
but let's look at this. The gap was 25 seconds, right, 2 laps ago. Now it's 17. And there's still 5 laps to go.
just shows you, like, these guys have been in a league of their
No,
own, might I add,
well,
today.
well, I'm just. Now the question is, can Nathan catch up? I think he can. I think he will be at the back of Bird again towards the end of the race. I think he will be because look, now it's from 17 seconds to 15. I think he will catch him again. That's why I asked, isn't it better for Bird to pit another time on soft, just to cover off a charge from Nathan? Because by the looks of it, I think he's gonna get him.
He is trying, but it's a heavy push in multiple directions at the moment. But I mean, Nathan's got 3 laps, and it's hard. I think EXO, because of that time trying to reconnect, has lost his opportunity of getting third when it was right there in his fingertips. I feel bad for him because I'm sure he would have loved to get that. But
Last, yeah, that would have been from
fourth
last
is
to third, yeah.
fourth is a good position for him for his championship, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
I agree, I agree, I agree. Well, this time Nathan didn't gain as much time as he did the previous 2 laps. These two really keeping us at the edge of our seats.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much anymore, but it was. I think Nathan's not managed to be able to close that gap down enough, unless Bird makes a massive blunder right now. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. May as well just hand the trophy to him now, for the race, because it's 12.5 seconds. I mean, Nathan, he's clear of any traffic currently, but he's got 2 cars to contend with if he was to go for Bird. But I mean, look at the gap. There's at least half a mile in it at that point.
Yeah, at this point I think it is over. He's not gaining as much as I thought he was, because he gained a lot of time in the first 2. Just look at Nathan. Look at the amount of times Nathan's put it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
It would have been his race if he hadn't had the penalties and hadn't had the damage twice to pit for. You know, 3 stops to the end, it would have been perfectly fine for him. I think
Yeah,
Bird's done very
yeah.
well with a 2 to 3 stop strategy. He's managed
He's done
himself.
he's done it once. He did manage to make it work.
The one stop, like I did say, the one stop is effective because the least time stopped is the way to go. But you can make a 2-stop effective depending on what tires you do and how bad your tire wear is. And it's you look at where Bird is now on track, and you think, okay, he has an opportunity right now to keep pushing and get to the end in style, or he could generally take this lap as a victory lap in some ways and just cruise it. I think he's just been cruising to the end. He is driving fast, but I feel like he is just cruising to the end now.
Yeah, you can see like the way he accelerates. Car looks planted. He's not overdriving the car. So definitely cruising to, as Captain Morgan is that decision again. Let me try and get him in real quick before he gets overtaken. Oh oh, why did I send an invite to Nathan? I didn't mean to do that.
It's alright. It's just Captain Morgan.
Hopefully he doesn't accept it.
He's already racing. He's battling with someone anyway. Well, not battling. He's trying to get through someone. Somatic Coast. Captain Morgan. The game's
Oh
pinned him.
no.
game's pitted him. No
This is
way.
exactly why I tried to get him in as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
the
lost
AI
two.
shouldn't be allowed to pit you. I feel like that's not very fair.
Oh, look at Nathan. He's closed the gap
Oh,
to 4
Nathan's made a
seconds.
massive blunder there as well. Like,
I, I think yeah, this is it. Bird crosses the line and wins with a very, very calm, collected, smart race.
it
Very well
was.
deserved victory
To
from
think,
Bird. Yeah.
technically, the only people that did the full race distance was Bird and Nathan. The other
Everyone,
drivers are all a lap down. It's it's quite sad, but it happens from time to time. You get drivers that have that dominance. Um, you know, EXO as well, finishing P4, very good for him. Wolf P5, he managed to, you know, claw it back past Leo P6.
mm,
Two Mercedes doing quite well today. Lord Rike in P7, his teammate not being so lucky. But Pasteleo, yeah, obviously, P7. Captain Morgan Nobeard is going to finish P8 on the standings as well, which is not ideal considering the situation he was put in there. Quite a few disconnects today, and yeah, not ideal. I think the game's decided a DNF in there. Lovely. But yeah, chat. I mean, it wasn't the most amazing race in the world, but I hope you guys enjoyed our commentary either way. I was joined tonight by the wonderful Angelissimo. He will be back with you again next week as the normal comms resume with Casper as well. He should be back. So, yeah, it's been a pleasure joining you in the comms box tonight, Angelo, and thank you for being so accommodating to my lesser knowledge of ERC 100 and getting to enjoy this this great race with you.
no worries. I enjoyed it as well. Good to work. Good to work with the Garinator
The
from time to
Generator.
time as well.
It is.
Garinator.
It is. Nathan McIntyre is confirmed as fastest lap. 6 second time penalty though for him today. Puts him, you know, he's already down on a disadvantage now because he's not got the max points today. Bird has taken as many points as he could. He's not got the fastest lap points. But clean racing points not on the table for Nathan. But for Bird, they are. Other drivers taking home clean racing points. Somatic Coast, EXO, and Wolf there. And Lord Rike getting clean racing points as well. So other drivers unfortunately getting penalties will not receive those sort of 2 points for clean racing points as well. So not ideal, but hopefully everybody is as happy as I am to see the end of that one. Monaco
Yeah.
for a first round is absolutely horrible. Thank you very much, Scar. Phil, when I see you next, you can see me ripping up your contract for your sim racing career, boy. That's all I'm saying. Abysmal performance. And you didn't even show up tonight. You asked to do Monaco as the first round. Oh, disgrace you are, Phil, I'm telling you. Anyway, chat, thank you very much for watching. And Angelo will catch you next week on Thursday. You'll catch me live again tomorrow on the main International Paddock channel. I'll be joined by the one and only Jamie O'Connor 11. He joins us for a guest appearance tomorrow for FSC, as I believe it is their final round. I'm not too sure. It's not their final round. They've just started a new season. SRC had a final round tonight. That's right. That's where my brain is at, chat. And you'll be able to catch me and Mike live on Sunday for the first round of ERC Masters, again around Monaco. If you want to see more from us, you know where to get us from. You can get us on social media at international_paddock. You can also get us on TikTok at international pad with 2 Ds. And you can also catch us on YouTube at international paddock as well. And you can, I mean, I should be saying this anyway, but you were watching this on the second channel. If you're not already following this, you should. But we also have a main channel as well where everything else is mostly streamed, and that is International Paddock. This was International Paddock Extra. And we will catch you again very soon. Good night and God bless.
Good night. See ya.
to help if I could actually reach my mouse that flew off my leg, chat. But yes, good night, God bless America, and all that stuff. Have fun with your elections. Catch you guys later.